Thanks, Shupi, and good afternoon to members of the media. No, Bumamuru, of course, a very difficult side. They played, since playing us, they played a game on Sunday and they drew 1-1. We still know that they've got some very good players in, especially Valentin and Eldinho in the midfield. Valentin up front, the number 11, very aggressive, fast, with good possibilities for goals. Eldinho with the play and also with shots from outside the box. Hakizimana was very good as a centre back. They missed Bangala, the number 5. I thought when we did analysis was probably one of their best players. But the other left-footed centre back, Mama, was also very good, and so a good team with a lot of possibilities. Typical team in the Champions League with physicality and speed and a good threat on set pieces. So we've got to be ready and make sure we just get the job done and see the team in the group stages.
Okay, coach.
Shamso.
Suppose, obviously, my friend Lawrence quoted that as looking at the Pirates Chiefs game, the number of fouls, the number of yellow cards, going into Champions League, we go further in the competition. You know how tricky it can be. I mean, from experience, look at what happened with World Cup. Is that a concern for you? What would you be doing about it?
No, no, not at all. I'm not concerned about it because some of the bookings I've thought have not been bookings, and some of the situations I think, yeah, some of the situations we've been on the receiving end, some of the situations we have not been on the receiving end, but that's football, you know. So let's go with it and let's see how far we can go. We do a lot of analysis. We check the situations. We speak with the players, even about yellow cards. We've done an entire presentation on that. Some of the situations where we've analyzed some of the bookings, some of the fouls, and even some of the decisions that didn't go for us. Uh, so we try to tidy up our game a little bit more and try to make less mistakes. We speak a lot about our performances one on one with the players, sometimes in the group. Um, but yeah, not concerned because our main priority is the result, and the result allows us to continue to get confidence and continue working. So very proud of the players for everything they've done at the moment.
Just for both of you can go in. Does it get easier the more you play, especially in Champions League setups, especially at these stages, to keep on motivating yourself for these type of games where it looks like some of the scorelines can get up. Does it get easier or does it, at times it really gets harder and harder to motivate yourself, especially at these.
Yeah, good afternoon to everyone. Yeah, look, this is the Champions League. There's never an easy game, even though we are falling up after the first leg. We continue to prepare for every game the same because it's the culture of the club, and we want to win every match. So we go into this game with the same mentality. It's a whole new game. I think they are going to come out maybe a little bit more aggressive than what it was there because they know what they have to overcome if they want to go through. But also we know what we need to do because it's our duty to the club and to ourselves to put us in the group stages.
No, I think that's a perfect answer. That's a problem.
Coming back to the Champions League, I mean, since September taking over, arguably have mastered I don't want to say squad rotation, but the importance of that playing players differently without killing the system of the team? How important is it for the program?
Yeah, very important. I think we've got a big squad and we have to use everybody. And everybody was one of my concerns when we reopened and started the new season. And I listed a couple of concerns with the players and credit to them because a lot of the things that we spoke about, they've really worked on. And one of those was the level dropping when we've rotated the team, and not just the level dropping in relation to results. There were so many of the results, like Maritzburg, for an example, we should have won. Stellenbosch, when we rotated, we should have won. Amazulu, when we rotated to two, we should have won. And but if you look at also the performances when were not as good as the performances when we didn't make rotations. And so one of the most important things that we even started working on from preseason, even in the friendlies that we played, was to instill the same type of mentality within the players. And as I said even earlier, credit to them because they've done exceptionally well with that, and you see it even in the friendly games. There was a very good friendly game 3 weeks ago against Kukune, where we had some of the youngsters playing and some of the senior players playing, and the performance was very good, very good. So that gives us a lot of confidence to trust the players, but also the players also give each other trust because it's important that they trust each other. They know that they won't fail each other. They'll work hard for each other, and even in difficult moments, they can rely on each other to back each other up and support each other. So yeah, it was an important consideration, but it's something that's also an important part of big clubs. Big clubs, I mean. Yesterday I got home. The first thing I watched was Manchester City to see why they lost or how they lost to Newcastle, and I saw the rotations, and this happens even at that level, and every single player has to perform and assist the team to get the results, and it's not easy. And Manchester City is a good example last night how difficult it is. So you've got to give a lot of credit to the players, and the game of football belongs to them, and big compliments to them for working on making sure that they produce even with the
Questions to River. Just how big has the start of the season been for you personally? Obviously, you've not seen a lot of you. You can give one a sort of raving about your performance. It's almost like you were never not around in terms of how you sorted it. What did you do differently in the time that you were on and off to give the performance you're giving right
Um, First of all, credit must go to the coach and the rest of the technical team. Um, it's not easy to be out for so long, and then you come back having coaches and technical team that believes in you. And I think the preseason was a good stepping stone. I think a good preseason always sets you up, to be part of the bigger picture for the whole season. And no, and credit to my teammates as well. They've been so encouraging, and it's easy to to stay with the team because there's so much harmony in the team. And it's like I haven't been away. To be part of this group, it's a privilege, and to be with so much quality every day just makes it so much easier to come back into the team after such a long layoff.
Thank you. I have a question for both of you and Coach. Let me start with Coach. Coach, yesterday you learned that the Royal Game is sold. Does that maybe change maybe what you had pre-planned in terms of like your selections and stuff, so that you can maybe also have players having minutes for the cup game as well? Does that change your selection or in any sort of way in terms of technical prioritization and keeping the player sharp? And Riva, yesterday, the coach spoke extensively about your and how there was a whole lecture about how you're so important in terms of the build up, the second phase, and the third phase. All that information, and I know it requires you guys to watch around footage, the John Stones role, if it's what if I can call it that. How is it working with the coach and how easy it is to process all this? I know your talent is second to none, but how easy is it to process all this information and execute the plan?
You going first? My answer is very simple. No, there's no. To be honest with you, I'd be lying if I said I did not think the Royal AM would be postponed. In our thoughts, in our discussions, even as a group, we had the feeling that it would be postponed. But of course, you need to wait until it's official and in writing. So nothing changes. It's the next game is the most important one, and we'll select the team based on what we see on the opposition. So we've got some work to do tonight on the opposition, and we try to put out a team that is capable of winning that game in relation to what that game needs on Saturday.
Uh, Look, it's never easy to adjust to new things for us as footballers. For a lot of us, we like to be comfortable, but then there are some of us who likes the challenges as well. And we worked on this formation or this role for me since the second week of preseason. So we've had quite a lot of time to work on it, and so far I've been enjoying it, and I feel like I'm growing into it more now, and I think it can only get better as the season progresses.
Coach Riva Katleho from the citizen, from the citizen this time.
It's too many.
Riva,
It's
correct me
normal.
if I'm wrong. I'm sure there's a burning desire to get back into the national setup. And are these CAF Champions League games the games sort of to prove your worth that you still belong in that setup? And I'll extend the question to the coach. The last time you dealt with asked this question, but what qualities would the Riva an option would he give to the national team? Because there is the outcome fast approaching. I'm sure there isn't time to sort of break into the
You go first this time.
Okay. Look, my focus at the moment is on the team. Is trying to stay fit, play as many games as I can. What happens in regards to Bafana, that's up to the coach. I can't do anything about that. All I can control is my performances and obviously to repay the faith that the technical team has shown in me.
the burning desire to get back into that setup as far as Rio is concerned.
Look, as I said, it's to stay fit and play as many games as I can.
Um, it's a good question, and it's also tricky because I met Coach Hugo for the first time in person at Orlando. We had very kind words exchanged, and we promised each other a coffee. So there's quite a lot that we are going to sit and have a good discussion. Also, because there is a majority of Sundowns players in the Bafana national team already. I already also have a feeling that there should be more, um, based on the performances of the players and based on the fact that the national team should be about meritocracy and the best players must play for the national team. With the River in particular, and even though I must make a disclaimer and say, of course, it's important to accept, understand, and respect Hugo Bross's role as the head coach, and that he will always, for sure, have my support and the support of this football club. But interestingly, we were actually having this discussion um, in the bus last night with Coach Wendell. And my feelings are that particularly with Rivaldo, is he's important for the big games. He's got what you call the big match temperament, which is the ability to not be scared in difficult moments and in pressure situations. Which, if you go to competitions like AFCON and you get into games of consequence and you play quarterfinals, semifinals against Nigeria, Ivory Coast, you need players that have the personality to perform and the fearlessness, and River has that. Uh, but of course, the style of play is a little bit different. The role would be a little bit different. I'm not so sure whether he would drive into the midfield and play in those type of situations with Bafana. But when needed, his versatility, his ability to play on the left and the right of the back four in the center. River has a left foot that is just as good as the right foot, if not better. And even though he is right footed, he's got football brains. No, we have a lot of discussions with River about football, and sometimes I'm boggled by his level of maturity, but also the things that he picks up and the details that he sees. And he's also a player that can play as a six. He's a player that can play as an eight. So a player that is able to cover these type of positions, center back, left, right, six, in a single pivot, in a double pivot, on the left, on the right, and of the double pivot. Maybe even as an eight in a diamond, you can get these possibilities because of the technical abilities. But as I said, at the end, for sure, is for him to continue to play the way he's playing, stay injury free. That's the biggest pressure I put on him. Also, is recover, look after your body, and make sure that you play games, because you see the challenges with players that are talented, and where the level is the responsibility for playing is not just for yourself, is putting yourself in a space where you give the privilege of making so many people happy by you, quality of being selfless and servantship. You have then a greater understanding of how important it is not only to manage your talent but your career. And this is the biggest thing with River, is that he's been dealt certain cards by God, by the universe. And now he's going to manage those cards, and he's going to do the best that he can to make sure that his career still progresses, his talent still grows, and he fulfills his potential, because I still don't think River has fulfilled his potential. And that's even crazy to even think about. So, yeah, let's see how far we can go. It's an interesting position for him. He does it very well for us, and he helps us a lot. And I think he would, of course, definitely be a very useful tool for Bafana.
Um,
Maflet,
the question is for you. It's more of a follow-up to what Mazola asked earlier. Can you just maybe in brief take us through to the stuff that you had to do behind the scenes when nobody was watching, when you were recovering stuff? They always say you have most of this upstairs. What did you do to stay motivated, stay with the course? Lots of sessions with the physios. How did you keep yourself motivated? And was there ever a time when it's not working? Were there doubts in your mind? What happened?
No, look, there was never any doubt in my mind. That is all I've wanted to do all my life. So I knew that it's going to require a little bit more, and the mental part is very big, uh, especially in sports in general. And then also you have all these amazing people around you, that guide you, that helps you. A little bit of extra work as well in the gym with the physios, focus a lot on the recovery. So there was never any doubt. I knew that I would come back. It was just about being mentally strong and be always being in good shape. Like coach says, take care of your body and take care of your career as well. So I always knew that I would come back, and then it's a matter of what control what you can, and that is to be your best at training every day, whether it's in the gym, on the pitch, and then the rest is up to the technical team then.
River, I'm from Cape Town, so I know that they found you somewhere in Takamas, 15 years old. And I remember watching you in the bio at like 16 or 17, Para, she would be talented. And it was like you could play the game with a cigarette in your
Yeah,
mouth, like proper,
literally.
diagonals, left, right. And obviously everybody was talking about saying the next one, a lot happened, Celtic, things like that. But now it's been like one of an academy 6 years. Since then. So you feel like you've been forgotten by like other fans. Because when you like produce a good game, people are like, oh, look how good this guy is. Is there like a feeling of like being forgotten or underappreciated because you were like that old, growing up, and then over this period it's been really difficult for you.
Yeah, no, look, everyone has their cup of tea. People always have opinions, but for me, I feel appreciated. Yeah, this club very much so. Um, so yeah, look, it's been a while since I've been in the Bafana setup, but as I said earlier, my main aim is to stay fit, play as many games as I can because I've been out for I think about a year, which is too long. So now it's just to focus, stay fit, and try to help the team as much as I can.
Just but you moved obviously from natural centre back to midfield. Has it hindered you? You prefer being in the midfield over where you thrive as a youngster?
No, I think I've developed a lot since I came here. That's when I moved into sixth position, and that can only benefit you, especially in the long term, because you can cover different positions. Whenever the team needs someone to play in this position, because that player is not there, I can step in. So versatility is good in football, and I think it has helped me to develop and be even better.
But more so, sorry, Lawrence, but more so in the way the game is going, you need players like River now uh, that are able to play multiple positions even in one game.
It occupies that position.
Exactly. So now River plays centre back, which is what he was playing. I was fortunate enough also to witness River's youth career. We had a very good game. I remember Sundowns versus Ajax in Cape Town with on our team we had Percy, the late Madisha, Marco, and on their team they had Nuruddin, and it was unbelievable. Mubara, River. I remember either Mubara or River making a goal line clearance last minute with from Basaka Marco, where Cash was also in the same team. Um, but football is moving in that space where, I mean, yesterday we made how many examples of how many players you find, and now you watch football and you're like, but what position is this guy playing? Formations have gone completely out the window, and now it's about the picture. And what does the picture say? And if the picture says from centre back driving to left midfield, then you've got to occupy that and then behave like a left midfielder, even though you are a centre back. And the demand, of course, from a technical, tactical perspective, the profile is completely different. And so you've got to have these abilities and maybe in hindsight, River having moved into six earlier and then coming back and playing now as a centre half, we had an interesting discussion at the end of the season and at the start of the season about his position. And we see the final game of the season last year against Magelsberg for us in the league. He played in this similar position, and we were testing it out and trying to see whether or not it could work. And in hindsight, I would say that having played now as a six before in a single pivot and being comfortable in the midfield, and of course with his background of in the youth formation and coming up from a centre back, that allows him to now be able to fulfill both these positions during 90 minutes and maybe even more positions, you know. But his athleticism, his, his level of intelligence um, allows him to be a modern player. And the modern player is a player that is able to find himself and comfortable in any area of the pitch, and that's very, very, very important.
Can you take the last three questions? Mazola, Mazola, the last three.
Question obviously for forever.
No, I like this. You must come more.
Obviously, Francis was talking about the injuries. You said it yourself, out for a year too long. Do you then feel a sense of more loyalty to the club? I mean, you're still only 26. Having been scouted by European clubs in the past, maybe they could come in, but do you feel too tied now to the club? Because I mean, given your injury record, some clubs have terminated contracts of with the players.
No, look, I will always be grateful to this club. They bought me when I was injured, and they knew that I would not play for the first year. And then last year as well, I was injured for a full year again, and the club has been very good to me. I can't thank them enough. So now it's about me, repaying the faith that they have shown in me. Like you said, many teams can terminate contracts, but there was never any discussion of that, of terminating or letting me go. They always believed in me, and all I can do is to stay fit and help the team and this club as much as possible.
Thank you, coach. Coach, they say that says that if your dreams don't scale, then they're not good enough. Something like that. This team has played 12 games and won 11, drawn one this season, and it still seems like it's in second gear, third gear. Even last year, the diamond only clicked after the World Cup break or just before the World Cup break. Um, does does the ceiling of this? I said to Toto last night that this team is in gear two, and it seems like it's in eight. Does the ceiling of this team this season scale?
Yeah, scale would be a very strong word, though. But I would assume that I think we all know, the players know, I know the technical staff know. I think our feelings are that we can definitely get better, and we know that we can play better. We can be a little bit better in certain moments, both on and off the pitch. There's a lot of things we even speak about in relation to the culture, in relation to body language and small elements that I mean, like goal celebrations, for an example, where a lot of people don't even pay attention to those type of things. But we speak about those things, and these are the small things that are the details that we focus on for sure, and we do that because we know we can get better. Um, but getting better with an expectation and getting better practically are two completely different things. And I always say, even to the players, if there's one creation that God made that nobody can answer, including science. I mean, you know how tall an oak tree will grow, and once it grows, that's its maximum. You know how big a whale can grow, and some don't fulfill the full potential, but there are many that grow to that and the size, and that's the maximum. You know how a lily flower or whatever. There's a lot of creations that have maximum ceilings and limits, except human beings. The one creation God created that can go enormously beyond and above expectations and should never be kept is the human potential. And so I'm not sure if it scares me, but it actually excites me because the challenge is how better can we become? How many more games can we win? How much better can we play? And how many more ideas can we infuse into this team? That's what excites me. So yeah, I don't know if scared is the right word, but more an element of excitement because also before being a football coach, I'm a football fan, and I love watching football. And this group happens to be a team or a group that I just love watching them play. And for as long as we stay focused on those and we stay focused on the processes and we stay focused on the small details, I'm sure we can even surprise ourselves with the capacity that we can reach as a team and as a group. And for as long as there's still that opportunity and there's that chance, we have to keep striving for that. It's like someone said to me last night, it's like perfection. Perfection is that carrot that is dangled in front of you. You can't eat it, but you still chase it. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to chase perfection. The carrot is dangled in front of us, but we know very well that even if we we can get a little bit close to it, the realities are that we can't even eat it. And that for me is what I think excites us and motivates us to come to work every single day and see how better can we become. And once we've reached the better, how better can we become of the better, and then get better and keep getting better and better and better and better. And that's what we strive to do every single day here.
Coach, I know the rhetoric is one game at a time, and I'm
Sure.
looking far too ahead. I think we asked you last season towards the end. Um, it's possible to have like operation finance. The fact that he hasn't been done before talks to how difficult it is.
Yeah.
But this team, I mean, we had such a strong start. Even when yesterday after going down, it didn't look like losing that game. We always felt that they can come back. Would you bet this team to sort of like, I don't know, attain the invincible and go the whole season without a loss? I mean, you nearly did it 2 seasons ago. The Kazi Chiefs game also, was on the blip. Would you bet this team to rewrite its own history, like invincible status, and to River going back to the Champions League, having come so close last season? What's the talk amongst the you guys feel this is the year to go a step above what you guys did in the same time?